What's going on, guys? Back with another Wizards video. Now today we're going to be talking about the Wizards' possible free agents and/or trade options that we will all like to see. So let me know in the comment sections what you guys think. Who are targets for you guys? Who would you like to see the Wizards go after? And of course, if you enjoy the content, subscribe. You're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Also, hit that like button. That always helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So, we know the Wizards' needs. They need wings. They need shooting. I mean, you can still say they need a real defensive anchor down low at that 5 spot. But, you can also make it work with Thomas Bryant and Daniel Gafford as well. Maybe even bring Robin Lopez back. Who knows? But that wing depth has been an issue for years with the Wizards. Having, some legitimate vet wings there. They've been rocking out with Bonga. Then you throw Denny in there. It hasn't been working. They need to really lock in on that spot and fixing that. In shooting, it was really bad this year, especially when you have a point guard like Russ who works better when the floor is spaced. And Davis Bertans was the only real big shooter on the team. Yes, you had Garrison Matthews, but Garrison Matthews didn't really get minutes. Consistent minutes, especially when we were in the playoffs. He barely even touched the floor. So, looking at the free agents, of course, like I said before, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Who do you want? But, I wrote down some options. Reggie Bullock. You talk about shooting, Reggie Bullock. You got Wayne Ellington. Those are two guys right there. If you're talking about shooting needs, I wouldn't mind at all going after those two. Now, I'm not a big numbers guy. I'm not a big cap space guy. I don't do all the little numbers and all of that. In the number crunching. But I know the Wizards' cap situation isn't the best. So, working with that, I think these are some good, reasonable, realistic options. Wayne Ellington, Reggie Bullock. Maybe Tony Snell. Who knows? Alex Berg. I like Garrett Temple. He's a restricted free agent. I've always liked Garrett Temple. I know he's not no knockdown shooter. I know him and Bradley Beal have a really good relationship. They've spoken about that before in the past. I feel like Garrett Temple will be a good veteran. Of course, played with the Wizards in the past. And I think he's a great locker room leader for, the team, to add to the team to go along with Russ and Brad. So I always throw Garrett Temple in there. I love Garrett Temple. And those are guards. Those are a few guards to name. You talk about forwards. You talk about wings. People have brought up Otto Porter Jr. and bringing him back to DC. My thing with Otto Porter Jr. is, number one, would he even want to come back to DC, number one? Number two, can he stay healthy? Otto Porter Jr. has had health issues for a little bit now. You bring him in, is he just going to be hurt? Is he going to continue to be hurt and not really be on the floor because he has to deal with injuries? That's a big question. Otto Porter in my opinion, wouldn't be a bad need and would, help the Wizards in their areas. Bring in wing depth. Also, bring in some three-point shooting. Space the floor out a little bit more. But can he stay healthy? That's been the biggest issue with Otto Porter Jr. as of recent, because he's had injury issues with the Bulls. You have Maurice Harkless. I wanted him last offseason. I thought the Wizards should be interested in him. I think the Wizards should be interested in him again. He had some decent moments with the Kings. Majority of people know him for his stint with the Portland Trail Blazers. I think he would be a good veteran options for a wing and bring in for that wing depth. You got Torrey Craig currently playing with the Suns. People may know him for playing with the Nuggets. I wouldn't be mad if the Wizards are interested in bringing in Torrey Craig either. I think that would be a nice pickup for fulfilling that wing depth and bringing in that veteran presence at the wing position as well. Guard / forward. You could talk about Will Barton. I believe he's from the DMV area, actually, I believe. You got Will Barton. I know he's on a player option right now. I don't know what kind of money he's looking for. I know he was hurt for a decent amount of time, actually, with the Nuggets this past season, I believe. But if you're talking about a guy who can put the ball in the hoop, definitely Will Barton, local guy. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at that either if the Wizards showed interest. But those are just a few options. Now, I may have missed some people that you guys may have been interested in, but you guys can always let me know who you guys are interested in. I love to watch you guys' comments. Then you talk about trade targets. And there's been one like really big name that's like floating around on Wizards Twitter. You talk about Jeremiah Grant from the Pistons. I believe local guy too. The Wizards, Jeremiah Grant's brother was a part of the Wizards. I think he was playing on the Go-Go. I don't know if he ever made it up to the team, but I know he was with the Capital City Go-Go, so his brother was already playing here. And I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that move. Now, I don't know who you give up. The guys who I'm not giving up in the trade, obviously Brad, obviously Rui Hachimura. Russ obviously isn't going anywhere. Those three guys are just off the table for me. If you want to throw Daniel Gafford in there, you definitely can. I wouldn't blame you for doing that. But those are guys right there that, I just wouldn't throw in the trade. But Jeremiah Grant, trade option right there. I seen a lot of people on Twitter when I asked the question on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, @DTalks a lot. People said Josh Hart. He's a restricted free agency. People said Josh Hart for sign and trade. A sign and trade deal maybe. Another local guy, Josh Hart. I definitely wouldn't mind him. A young guy who could knock down the three. A part of that, young Lakers core. Got traded in that Anthony Davis trade. I believe he was a part of that Anthony Davis trade. That's how he ended up in New Orleans. Wouldn't be mad at Josh Hart. Definitely bring in some youth. Bring in some shooting. I wouldn't be mad at that. Then you got, I think, one of the biggest names that has been thrown around on Wizards Twitter. Had a little noise to it. DeMar DeRozan. I know DeMar is an unrestricted free agent. Now, I don't know, how that's going to work. I don't. But let's talk about DeMar DeRozan for a little bit and his fit with the Wizards. Now, you look at the fit, you see DeMar DeRozan, mid-range guy. Russell Westbrook, mid-range guy. Bradley Beal, 3-level guy. I mean, he's not as good as a three-point shooter as he used to be in the past, but his mid-range game is really good. You really got to add some shooters around that team and that lineup for sure. The spacing is very questionable. I can understand why people will instantly just go to, what about the spacing? They all kind of have similar-ish games, especially Rush and DeMar. But DeRozan, I think has done better with, kind of that guard role, like that facilitating, having the ball in his hands, and getting his guys open. I think he's done a better job with that, going to the San Antonio Spurs. I think there's a way that it could work, personally. I mean, it would be exciting, so I wouldn't turn it down. You got Porzingis. A lot of people with the injury history, they're a little questionable about Porzingis as well. Understandable. Now you look at a team with Porzingis, Russ, and Brad. That could work. But can Porzingis stay healthy? The talent's there. But the question has always been his health. Can he stay healthy? And we don't know. But, I mean, that's just some options I wrote down. I just brought up guys I wouldn't be mad at if the Wizards were interested in / got in free agency or made a trade for. Like I said, let me know who you guys think. I'll be back with another Wizards video. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Peace.